Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome back to Absolver. Like I said at the end of the last episode, I want to play more, so we're picking up shortly after an audio export so that I could save the last recording and diving back in. Now this is the Guidance Bridge, so I'm assuming we're getting some guidance here. I can run, I remember that. Oh, okay, cool. Got kind of a hub room thing going on here. An altar. Ooh. Bonfire! Awesome. Okay. I'm not online right now, so combat trials and social are locked out. But I can equip, meditate, options, quit. Which is basically what I get out of the start menu as well. But I'm assuming that this is what I would use to jump into combat trials, which are the more traditional fighting game style of PvP. Like you just queue up and you fight other people in an instanced arena that you just sort of teleport away to. We'll do some of that later, I'm sure. For now, I'm still exploring the game world. We can also modify our equipment. We didn't really look at the equipment screen last time. I don't have... Oh, I do have. Okay. I don't have... Oh, I do have. Okay. So, I did pre-order the game. So I guess I have a red essence mask, which is heavier. Goes from 1 to 2.2. It doesn't protect anymore from blunt, which is kind of unarmed strikes, but it protects quite a bit more from cut, which are arm strikes, which we haven't really seen yet. Mask given by guides to prospects who come to Tower Point without having carved their own. Some say the broken eye was made in homage to simian scars. Alright. Some Eurasian mines contain reserves of red essence. It is rare, and therefore desirable. And Labyrinth Prospect Mask. Someone has engraved labyrinthic patterns on an original prospect mask, maybe to reward those who had faith early. So this is the pre-order. The red essence mask comes from what exactly? I'm not sure. We are going to check some of this out though. Let me just go straight to that. That is cool. So this should be the... Looks a lot better if I try it on while I'm standing facing the camera, right? So this should be the pre-order stuff, was the priest. A keeper's tunic embroidered with gold. The priests were chosen amongst those who arrived early and left late. Solid fabric with ample cut, given to prospects arriving in Adal in rags. Eurasian priest pants, usually unrefined. These pants have embroidered with gold patterns, probably to reward the priests for their unwavering faith. That's pretty cool for a pre-order item. It's identical to... Oh, well, no, the pants are different. Okay, so the pants are actually good, whereas these pants are, like, kind of crap. But the shirt... Okay. So they are, like, they're decent. I don't know why I got the other stuff. That also looks like pretty sick, though. I could definitely stand for having a better shirt. Maybe just no shirt. Red fabric embroidered patterns distinguish the commanders from the rest of the Shabu Guard. Is that 18 and 11? I didn't really see what I started with. 18 and 3. 19 and 3. So it actually lowered my overall, especially if I take off the shirt. But I think that like looks quite a bit cooler. 18 and 11. We get quite a bit more cut resistance for, you know, the first time we encounter someone with a weapon. But mostly it's all about fashion souls, right? I'm digging it. I'm totally digging it. Okay. We'll worry about. I think I spent enough time in the meditation screen in the last video, so we'll touch upon more of that at a later date. And I find it interesting that he has no mask, so he is not a prospect or an absolver. To become an absolver, you have to prove your worth and defeat Rizrin in the Hanging Gardens of the Tower of Adal. All right. But first, of course, there's a but first, you must beat Kuritz in the Colosseum, Kilnor and her brother Cargill in the Old Birdhouse, and the 6 marked ones roaming the city and the forest. Only then will the stone gate of the Imperial Tower open. All right. This headstone will show your remaining targets, of course. Beware of these foes. They will not be defeated easily. So I'm assuming the yellow ones are like little bosses and the big scary red ones are big bosses. That would seem to make most sense. And then this is our "You are here" marker with the sort of altar-y thing right there. That would make the most sense to me. Also, we see we've got 3 ways out of here. That big door right there. This way up. Yep, and that does lead out. Just wanted to make sure there was no dead end or anything up here. We've got sort of our Firelink Shrine going on. Plenty of candles at least. And then a way out here. Well, for my purposes, any way is as good as another, so I would very much like to punch some things. So let's get that going again, shall we? The hunting path. Okay. And check out the, there's sort of a time lapse, right? Whenever you move from area to area. There's not a day-night cycle exactly, but it will be certain times of day in certain areas anytime you're there. I believe that is the way that is handled. So there might be some nighttime areas, but those are the areas where it's always nighttime. Oh, hello. Oh, that stung a bit. Ow, that stung a bit more. Apparently, 10-minute break, and I've forgotten how the game plays. That's fine. I can certainly see that there's maybe an optimal strategy that's going to involve a bit of, like, grinding for moves, right? That you would stand here getting hit a bunch. I'm going to really try to balance that with keeping the flow of the game going. Yeah, your wrist hurt a little bit after that haymaker, didn't it? I am very, very close to picking up a couple of this character's moves, though. Like that one. Winged back kick. I don't really want a winged back kick, but it was nice to grab. Ow. And one. Oh, jeez. That stung a little bit. It does mean I'm probably going to try to grind some of the game off camera. I might like revisit areas or something like that. Ooh. All right, our first weapon. So whenever we pick up a weapon, we don't have the ability to create one yet. So like, I'm gonna put this down. So eventually, this D-pad over here, where currently all I can do is heal, but eventually we're going to have the ability to create or unfold a weapon out of sort of pocket dimension-y space. We don't have that ability yet, so we have to rely on the kindness of others, such as Sword in the Stone style, there being a sword just sort of right there. Also, Prospect Gloves. Cool. Are those good? Better than what we have? No, we're wearing Prospect Gloves. They're like the tiny... Oh, they actually don't look the same. Just the icon is the same. They're the tiniest bit lighter and the tiniest bit worse at protecting from blunt damage. They do also increase our damage a little bit. I'm assuming the more weighed down we are, maybe the less damage we do. Which is a cool kind of defense versus offense trade-off. So as we pick up a weapon, we're going to see that our combat style evolves a little bit. We have a separate combat deck specifically for the weapons. They don't... Oh, whoa! Did you pop out from behind me? Respawn? Where did you... Oh, no. He was back around that side. I see. They don't necessarily do a ton more damage. What they do is they do cut damage instead of blunt damage. And cut is much harder to block against. So it is definitely something for overwhelming an opponent that is sort of turtling up on you. Also, you have... please just die. You have the ability to customize another deck, you know, specifically for the sword style that you've got, right? So you can use that to, in real time, kind of mix things up. Once you're able to pull a sword out of nowhere, you'll be able to switch your own fighting style just sort of on the fly. This is where I came from? Like, went down in there, so he was just sort of hiding off of an alternate path that I didn't initially see. Expect me to get lost, like, a lot, right? I think this is leading maybe to another area. Yeah, looks like it. Maybe one of those areas where darkness is a little bit more prevalent. Ooh, the Forgotten Temple. Oh man, it's Blighttown all over again. Okay, let's head back to the hunting grounds. That's what they were called, right? The hunting grounds? The hunting path. Ooh, I was so close, yet so far. Alright, and I think that did respawn everyone. Okay, you'll see my, my sword broke just then. You'll also see these are not the same opponents that they were before. So these guys do vary their spawning a bit. Oh man, you guys are everywhere. Can't get away from kung fu fights, which is fine, right? Like, it's the entire point of the game is that there are kung fu fights everywhere. All right. Oh, nice clap. Sometimes you got to get your hands dirty. I like that 1-2 setup quite a lot, actually. My alternate attack, which is the sweeping leg there, into... Ooh, I didn't have enough stamina to absorb that. The sweeping leg here... Yeah, that leg. There into that knee. I can use that as kind of an alternate little combo. It's kind of nice. And then it switches... nope. And then... Nope. Okay. Harder to do when I'm not locked on. It then switches into my like normal 1-2 quite a bit better. One thing I did want to point out, I didn't do a very good job of making that clear. Rotation. And no, I don't want to level up stuff, although I probably should. I want a combat deck. Okay. So you'll see here, these are the alternate combat decks we have, right? Like when we have a sword, when we have war gloves, we switch into these other things. On our combat deck, not equip, but practice, edit. There we go. One thing I didn't do a good job of pointing out is you'll notice we have 2 moves in this stance, 2 moves in this stance, 1 move in this stance, 1 move in this stance. I believe it's going to be as we level up that we're going to unlock additional moves. And not just being for for the sake of being an RPG kind of mechanic, but I think it's also to just not be overwhelming to the player. We're going to unlock additional slots here. So eventually we're going to have 3 moves in each, but right now that does sort of limit what we can do as far as our combos are concerned, right? Because we only have 1 move in a certain stance. You know, I guess I might as well level up. Like, why would I not? Here's where we could switch our combat style, which kind of tends to tell me that there are other combat styles that we can learn. Attack list, bare hands or sword. Known attacks 8, known attacks 15, and I'm learning 21. Oh yeah. Okay. Strength, dex, vitality, endurance, will, mobility. Alright, so this is mostly like equip load and increases stamina recovery speed. I think this is going to be probably pretty important to me. Vitality is also going to be pretty important to me, and strength is going to be pretty important to me. I think early on we'll grab a few points in vitality and endurance, just because we're never really going to go wrong there. I'm sure we'll end up pumping up strength a little bit later as well. But some more HP and some more stamina, particularly, is not going to hurt. Not going to hurt one bit. Oh, okay. Whoa, hello. Oh, that was not the button I intended to press. That was actually the social wheel, which we haven't really had much reason to see or use yet. I have no desire to fight 3 of you at once. Oh, jeez. Although I do love that there is friendly fire, which makes crowd controlling a little bit easier than it otherwise would be, because these guys can hit each other, and do hit each other, and that makes it at least a little bit bearable that 3 of them will attack you at once. They clearly do not listen to Mawashi. Fancy kick, basically. They totally don't subscribe to the classic kung fu trope of only attacking one at a time. And so it's nice that at least they hurt each other. Salon armband. If I was an armband, where would I go? Here? Here. Okay. A little bit of blunt resistance. Okay. So I got a few slots where I don't really have anything in. Salon bracelets. Here. Here indeed. Mostly cut. Okay. You know, I actually kind of like the arm wrap. Why? Some say the bracelets have magical properties, but maybe it's all in the mind of the wearer. Quite a bit heavier, mostly cut resistance. I think I'm going to keep the arm wrap for right now. So there are those little treasure chests, and I think they're, or treasure rocks, as the case may be, and I think those are all in preset locations, spread throughout the world, to just make sure that you sort of always get certain items. And now I feel like I've gotten turned around. So this led to the temple, and I don't want to go there. But we came this way, and it branched up, which just sort of loops around into this, which means the only real way to go is over here. I thought this is the way I came from. Again, sense of direction, totally the way I came from. Okay, so we came running down here. When we got here, the only way we could go was this way. We went this way. We went this way. We fought a guy. There's the sword. Is that a path? That's a path. Okay. We need to go up over here. Ooh, and that is another altar. Alright, so these are going to serve as our respawn points. There are bonfire by another mother, that kind of thing. Do they give us full health? They do. They also give us the map. I'm not sure how useful that's going to be. Okay, the little tiny green dot, I'm assuming, is the you are here. That's the altar. So we've got 2 ways from out of here, back the way we came, or into the temple. The Forgotten Temple being a fairly small sort of transitionary area, from what I can tell there. We got some more treasure rocks. Leather shoulder pads. I don't mind if I do. Didn't have any other... Oh, I did have other shoulder pads. Oration Priest Mantle. That is quite a bit of armor. So is that. Multiple layers of wool, the mark of an early adopter. They don't look that cool. And again, I feel like that's a primary purpose. Was the we do full priest with the pads? The coats, it's too good. It looks too good. Alright, we'll try this out. At least for a little while. Okay, so we came up from there, because that's where the sword is. There's the loot, so we've got at least path that way with a red tree. Path this way back into some rocky stuff. That's a fancy leg sweep you got there. Yep, that is a very fancy leg sweep. See that? That's what I really like. Coming out with the leg sweep into the knee, into the punches. I feel like that is a very solid barrage. We've got a Sleepy Tree Man. Rivario. Oh, okay. You have a name, Rivario. Oh. Yep, that's why you got a name, because you hit real hard. Okay. You also have a very cool mask. So Rivario is the first marked one. Oh, jeez, that hit very hard. Now, we heard a little bit about the marked ones. They're sort of the mini-bosses of the game, right? Oh, boy. That was the first time I've been parried. So he is a practitioner of the Forsaken style and parries. Oh, jeez. I am basically getting the crap kicked out of me. I'm going to take this as an opportunity to heal and back off for a second. And then we will go in hard and get broken out of our heal. Okay. Wow. Some of those kicks are brutal. Absolutely brutal. Oh, jeez. And I can't just stand there blocking against him because he will overwhelm my stamina like it is going out of style. Okay, that hurt. That hurt a lot. Alright, and... Okay, excuse me if I'm gonna get a little bit quiet here for a sec as I try not to die against this opening mini-boss character. Okay. I just need the tiniest bit of damage. And of course, he uses that exact moment to parry one of my attacks, proving that I may not be able to get off that little attack so easily. However, we are duly rewarded by learning Earthquake. I don't have enough tension shards. By the way, I haven't mentioned tension shards, but the little stones floating behind our back there. I used one fairly late in that fight to try to heal a little bit. But we learned Earthquake, and we will eventually, like right now, would it be in here? I'm not really seeing it in here. Well, eventually we will have additional powers, and I'm assuming then would have the ability to, right here, edit it. Edit and decide what went where. We can't demonstrate Earthquake, but we can at least read the description. Channeling the tension within the shard, this power creates a powerful tremor, shaking the ground, stunning nearby enemies. And, of course, heal. Dealing damage accelerates the heal. Heal is interrupted when you're hit. Fair enough. So, man, I don't know about you, but I was feeling pretty exhilarated by that first of the marked ones. He was no joke. No joke at all. In quite a few ways there, I think I can say I was... Oh, jeez. I was maybe a little lucky that I managed to win that one. Now, the real problem is I exited that fight with like half my health. So there is a slight chance that I just get the crap knocked out of me by the first like random NPC that I meet. In some ways, these the random trash mobs that are wandering around, you can button spam a bit against, but that marked one, you could not. Button spam was not going to pull you through. Hit my my mic there a little bit. Button spam was not going to pull you through that one, I assure you. Okay, so some heavier armor. Let's come on, Red, face the camera. What are you thinking? All right. Plates of Rapali steel, one of the hardest alloys north of Uring. May be heavy on the shoulders, but protect against all types of blows and can save a life in combat. That's interesting. Again, letting fashion be my guide, I think I'm going to end up keeping this on. And gaining enough tension, I think I'm going to heal up as I run around now. You'll notice that you do regain health for defeating an opponent. I think that's a great idea. Like, it really keeps the flow of everything going and allows you, to get into these 3v1 kind of fights and stand some sort of chance, because every opponent that you're defeating, I guess it was just the armor up here and then a dead end. Every opponent you're defeating is giving you the opportunity to heal off of them and therefore keep the fight going. And I think this is very, very, very cool. However, after fighting the marked one, I think it was a little important that we be able to use some tension shards to heal. This guy's got some armor on. Oh boy. Oh, what's wrong? Did you punch your friend in the face? Did you punch your friend in the face and feel stupid? Oh, well, then you punched me in the face a couple of times. Probably felt better. Jeez. Yeah. These haymakers may seem slow, but when you've got a couple of opponents around you, suddenly... Oh, yeah! Suddenly the haymaker can come out of nowhere. There we go. There we go. Alright, I love that one of them took out the other. That made me feel real warm and fuzzy inside. Okay, we can cross a log. Interesting. Is this just a... It's just a shortcut back to the altar. Well, that's cool. Decent game design ideas going on here. I'm digging it. Props to you, Mr. Level Designer. I am trying to make sure that I'm not taking a short step off of anything and finding myself unable to come back. So is this is where we fought the first mark one. So up there was armor, and this just loops around. Is that what I am to understand? This was basically all so that we could have the shortcut. Huh. A Terror Chief's Overtop. Did I kill a guy there? I don't even remember killing a guy there. I'm assuming an overtop is, again, kind of a coat. Yep, indeed it is. Raw leathers and wool, layered for warmth and protection. Smells of human sweat and animal fat. Yeah, I think we're going to stay fancy for now. Thank you, though. I do appreciate the sentiment. Okay, so I guess after him is mostly just shortcut back to here so that you can move on to the next area. And we've basically cleared the hunting path then. We got the mini boss in it and are now able to move on. What I think is going to happen now, and I think this is going to be the format, right? As we try to come up with how we're going to handle a mostly online fighting game in a sort of Let's Play format. What I think I'm going to do is show off a region. We'll be able to fight its boss, or its marked one, or its whatever. And then once I'm done, and I need to do all of the fancy behind-the-scenes recording stuff to turn this into a video, what I will do is run around down here, farming the hunting path, allowing myself to probably get a little bit better at the game, but that was amazing. I did like a backflip as I knocked him out. Getting a little bit better at the game, but also allowing me to sort of farm up all of these moves. You know, there's some cool stuff that I want to learn, like whatever that was. I want to know that punch, and the best way to know that punch, oh man, you see the weapon I got this time. So they're a bit randomized. This is like really brutal looking. It's not a sword. Oh, that looked like it hurt. It's not a sword so much as it was just a log with like 2 razor blades embedded on either side. Alright, anyway, train of thought. Can totally keep train of thought. I'm going to run around down here basically trying to learn the moves of the enemies that are spawning in the hunting path. And that way you don't have to watch me farm, but I get to take care of all that stuff and sharpen my own player skills a little bit while also increasing my character's skills. And then when we pick up the next episode, I'll be, done with the hunting path. Won't need to revisit here, and we can move on to the Forsaken Temple? Forgotten Temple? It was some kind of temple, right? And that'll be in the next episode. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I unlocked a hook. Oh yeah. If you did, feel free to subscribe. There's lots more on the channel. You can leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other videos. And I will catch you guys next time.